Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's 9:30, May 30th, 2023, and the smoke is back. And for a change, it was around at the surface at times today, and I could actually smell it in the afternoon. Not so much this evening, but this afternoon I could definitely smell smoke, at least here in the middle of the island. And you can see here on the satellite, you can see where the smoke is over us. The smoke is not. I was wrong yesterday. I was saying it was coming from, maybe a little bit of it's coming from the Northwest Territories, because you see it all over. But this smoke that we're dealing with right now is actually coming from Nova Scotia. So if we look at this MODIS satellite here, you'll see here, this is the fire right here. This is a very bad wildfire in southern Nova Scotia here that's burning. And you can see it's producing quite a bit of smoke. It looks like there's actually a number of fires. I don't know if that's another fire over there. Yep, we've got another Canadian province on fire now, this time Nova Scotia. Almost every single province in Canada is going through some kind of wildfire right now. We still have the one, I think there was one that popped up somewhere in Ontario yesterday. I think it's around here somewhere. I'm not sure. See if I can find it. Yeah, the smoke is all over the place. And you can see this is what it looked like this morning. You can see this is the cloud of smoke here that was near the surface that came in on the easterly winds and brought us the smoky conditions. You can still see lots of smoke here. Plenty of smoke here in, well, this isn't loading, being slow here, but you can see plenty of smoke over here, and come on. Alright, that one seems to be sharper, but you can see here, plenty of smoke here. It looks like it is in, what is going on here? Yeah, it's in Saskatchewan, and also Manitoba. So the smoke is coming from, there's some big fires in the Northwest Territories as well going. So we still have all these fires going, and, we're going to be dealing with more smoke again. So, like I said, it was nice to have that respite for a couple of days, and now we're back dealing with it again. You can see here, I see the little thing going. I don't know what's going on. That site is just being very slow. We'll close it up, but you can see here, plenty of wildfire smoke here. 16,000 people have been evacuated. It's near Halifax, which is the capital. Ooh, that is not good. That is not good at all. So this is really bad. You can see wildfire smoke drifts into the... here we go again. Here we go again. This time in Nova Scotia. I can't even remember the last time there was a wildfire in Nova Scotia. Crazy. So I'll show you what it looked like this afternoon. We'll start off here in Mineola. So you can clearly see the haze here. You can clearly see the blue. This is the smoke in the air. However, when I got to Babylon, of course, the South Shore, Southard's Lake, it was just a slight bit of haze. It wasn't that bad at all on the South Shore. Much better on the South Shore. I didn't smell the smoke at all. Go figure. I don't know why. I don't have an explanation for it. It just seems like the South Shore just avoids all the misery. I guess this is another example of it. They're not smelling the smoke down there. But you could definitely see it in the air still a little bit here as we got toward the evening. You can see that layer of smoke. I think it was a little bit above the surface. Maybe that's why it started going above the surface again. You can clearly see that layer of smoke right there. And then I have a video at Massapequa, again, showing you the sunset. They'll show you the pictures here. There you go. That's what the sun looked like. Quite, just orange sun there. Just you could tell the smoke, not as thick as it was before, but still fairly thick, fairly noticeable, impossible to ignore pretty much, as you see there. So it was a very cool day, though, nonetheless, a very cool day across the area. So we'll first look at, we also have air quality alerts now being issued for the entire state of New Jersey due to the wildfire smoke, not for Long Island yet. I have a feeling that eventually because they have Massachusetts, Rhode Island, so waiting for Connecticut and New York to have an air quality alert. I think they should probably have one. Let's take a look at what we got outside right now. Temperatures are in the mid-50s right now. Wow, I wish I was enjoying the 56 degree, even in Carl Place, 56 degrees. Guess what it is in the alley, and I have to have the air conditioner going. Still 65 degrees in the alley. Well, it's 10 degrees warmer. So I'm going to take a video explaining tomorrow, showing you my alley and showing you what is... This place shouldn't even be legal, all right? Because you can't get fresh air. That, you have a right to have fresh air, all right? But I'll explain that to you in another video. Unfortunately, I just got to run the air conditioner, and I guess with the smoke and pollen particles, I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing. It will cool off. It just takes a long time. So Islip is 54, dew point 48. We'll look at the weather at Islip today. We had a very cool day, only in the 60s today. I mean, yeah, I had to have the air conditioner running when it's only in the 60s in this place. It's crazy. Southeasterly winds all day long. But again, we did have the smoke in the air, so though it's not being noted on these observations, but you could see it in the picture that I took earlier that we did have that smoke. So only in the 60s, generally speaking. So we'll go look at our highs for the day, and you can again see that air quality alert, and that's going to go until that's going to be through for tomorrow. So let's go look at our high temperatures for the day, and pretty much we're only in the mid 60s. 68 at Islip, still below normal. My area got up to 72, so a little bit warmer in central Nassau, 71 in the city. It's still below normal for this time of the year. Upper 60s for New Jersey. It's actually cooler in Jersey than it was here. And then as far as the Jersey Shore goes, and then going to the lows, low 41. Wow, it got quite cool. And it did get cool last night. It did eventually cool off enough, like after 1 or 2 a.m., that it finally could open the windows and turn off the air conditioner, because all that heat just gets trapped in that alley. And I'll explain that to you again in a video. I'm going to show it to you. So let's see, got down to 39 at East Hampton. Otherwise, mid-40s elsewhere, so pretty chilly. The lows were a little higher, though, in Jersey. Mid-50s over there, and then mid-50s in the city as well. Looking at our climate statistics for the day. Let's go to the climate statistics here. And so let's load up Islip. So 67 was the high at Islip. Normal high is supposed to be 72. So we end up being 7 degrees below normal today. The low is 47. Central Park, 3 degrees below normal. So yeah, quite a cool day today. Maybe that smoke maybe helped keep the temperatures down a little bit too, perhaps. Filtering the sun a little bit, perhaps just a little bit, enough to keep the temperatures down. But it was quite a nice cool day. Most people don't have to have the AC on; they just open their windows and enjoy it. So let's look at the Weather Prediction Center map, and you can see high pressure still over us. That remnants of that low still sitting over the southeast, bringing dreary weather for them. I mean, while we've had beautiful weather, they've been stuck in the dreary weather, and it's just stuck. And this is what happens now more and more due to climate change. The weather just gets stuck. Sometimes you can be on the good side of it and have nice, dry, sunny weather. Sometimes you're dealing with the rain, but we could use a little bit of the rain too. But where it's raining, it stays raining, and where it's not raining, it stays not raining, and that's the problem. And that whole northeast is just drying out, and I'm a little concerned about the fire threat going forward here. If we go to day 2, see we're still under the influence of the high, and same thing for day 3, and it's going to start getting hotter as well as we go through the period. So let's go back to the weather and hazards map and pull this out, and we'll show you what we got going on across the country. And you can see there is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the same areas, pretty much the same areas, western Nebraska, parts of Kansas, into western Texas, and then the red flag warning for New Mexico. Something's really changed there as far as that goes, because that's where the low pressure has been. You can see across the country, no really huge heat. I mean, Texas, I guess, is dealing with some heat. And then you have, of course, a little heat in the northeast. This has been going on as well. There's actually Nova Scotia, for instance, has been, I think, unusually warm as well. So Halifax is over here. The fire looked like it was more over here. I think it was near Halifax, because Halifax is kind of like in the middle. You can see these are the conditions in Nova Scotia right now, and I don't know if they're reporting smoke at all at Halifax. Let's take a look and see if they are. Yes, they were reporting smoke for a while, so like I said, those fires. I'm going to try to pull up a satellite loop. Let's see if we can get a satellite loop of the Canadian Maritimes here. We have Canada, northern Atlantic, but we need like a Canadian. Yeah, that's not going to get us any closer. Not really going to see anything on that. It's going to just show you the loop there, but you can sort of see the smoke Okay, it's very hard to see. There, you can see it. Big cloud just came off. So that's what we might be dealing with tomorrow. That's a big cloud of smoke that just came off. Because it's not that far away from where we are. It's really not. And the air mass, the easterly flow, is bringing it right in. So that's why I think we'll be dealing with more and more of this wildfire smoke. So Storm Prediction Center, again, that same area, enhanced risk for that same area there. And then as we go into tomorrow, looks like there were 4 reported tornadoes, though. So they did have some tornado reports there. And if we go to the day 2, it's more or less in the same area. It becomes a slight risk. But that's where all the storminess is confined. If we look at the radar here, you will see this is where it's confined. And this is, again, it's just hitting the same areas. These storms are producing tornadoes. A lot of them are, and they just keep forming over the same spots over and over again. Southeast, dealing with some rain and drizzle, though not as much rain as before. And then have the fires over here. I don't see any rain, unfortunately, for Nova Scotia. We'll have to see if they're going to be getting any rain, and who knows, right? We'll have to go and look at that. It's another thing we got to look at. So let's go to the weather map now, and we're going to look at the models. And I guess, first we'll start with the smoke model. Let's do that one first. We're going to run the near-surface smoke one first, all right? Because the fires are closer, the smoke is closer. So look at what happens as we go into tomorrow. It doesn't really take us that far. I don't think we have enough of that in yet, but you can see the red over us. That is near-surface smoke, and that is closer to the surface, all right? So if we go to the vertically integrated smoke model, plenty of it. So we'll have plenty of it. It looks like it's going to be pretty thick tomorrow, as you see, and plenty of smoke still going on. It's just smoke all over the place. I mean, it's crazy. I've never seen it like this before. There's also the HRRR vertically integrated smoke model. I wonder if we can. Yeah, I can't. You can't actually take a zoom in to the actual area and get like a close up. The Weather Service can do that. I don't know how to do it. Well, whatever. I don't want to waste your time here. So let's go to the Weather Service here. We'll go back to the Weather Service here. We'll just put it back here. Now, let's see. They should have some more graphics about the smoke here. Patchy low-level smoke will continue to linger around the area for tomorrow. They're not showing the model here, but showing that one from yesterday. But you can clearly see we're going to be dealing with this smoke here. I'm just curious if the HRRR smoke is also tracking this or not. I know it's coming from Canada, but it might be. Let's see if it is. Probably not. Oh, yeah. Yep. It's showing it as well, so it's going to be with us tomorrow. Looks like it's showing it to be with us tomorrow as well, so it's very hard to predict, but with the wind flow and where the fire is, that's the near surface smoke. So it looks like, yeah, we're going to be dealing with that smoke tomorrow as well. So anyway, let's go to the models here, and we'll look at see that high pressure there. It's going to stay over there. But we're going to first go over the upper air pattern, but it's been kind of just stubbornly stuck in place here for a while, and just have a high pressure system here. A trough that's in this area. It's parked in this area. It's keeping that high in place, and you have that little weakness in the southeast. It's just kind of pinned there. There's no jet stream to move anything around, and we're going to see a ridge, more of a little bit of a ridge develop, but no real change here going on. Here we go again with another cutoff low, perhaps, over the southeast next week. No real changes in this. Still see that omega look, though. You can see a little bit of a ridge there, but you're still seeing that general omega look in there. And I could look at the European model, too, but you know what? The European hasn't been very reliable lately, and I really don't feel like it's important to look at it at this point. I don't think there's going to be anything major changing here. I think you'll see more of a difference when we look at this between the GFS and the Euro, if there is one. So you can see it's an upside down pattern here. All right. So yeah, let's go to the weather. Actually, I want to go to the high temperatures in this area to see how warm it got. Because it's upside down. It's actually warmer to the north. It seems cool there. It does seem cool. But anyway, it's kind of an upside down pattern that you have here, all right? Low pressure over the southeast. It's going to kind of continue. You can see it develops kind of a weak low and then moves it almost southwestward and then moves it back over here. So this low would be our only chance for some rain perhaps on the weekend. And then after that, it's more of the same. You see there's a low over there and a flow coming out of Canada again, all right? Well, they'll be doing more wildfire smoke. Well, that far out, it's impossible for me to tell. Let's go to the European model now. That doesn't go as far out, and it's probably reason I don't use the European model, but let's see if there are any differences here. Yeah, the European digs a much stronger trough. But that's going to continue with this big ridge in Canada again. Trough in the east, ridge in Canada. So this generally means no big heat. That we're going to be seeing no really big heat. So let's go to the CONUS view and look at our rainfall. Our precipitation, our weather map here with the precipitation on it. You see, staying dry tomorrow. High pressure over us. High pressure again or Friday. Only chance for rain is going to be Saturday. Perhaps Saturday and Sunday. We might have a little bit of a chance of some rain here. As far as Nova Scotia goes, looks like maybe a little bit of rain for them too. Hopefully, so they can get those fires under control there. But after that, here's that storm system there. It kind of stays offshore, and then another high builds in. It looks like we have a few rain chances, maybe a few. Nothing substantial as we go through the period. If I go to the total accumulated precip for the whole country, all the way out to this, you can see it's not really showing much. It's giving us no more than an inch all the way out through mid-June. Most of the rain is falling in the middle of the country in the southeast. If I take this out to the North American view, you can still see these areas where the fires are burning. It looks like some of it gets into Saskatchewan and some of it gets into this area. So there's some precipitation gets into this area, but still Northwest Territories not showing a whole lot of rain here. Northeast not showing a whole lot of rain. And Eastern Canada, this may be the next wildfire hotspot that we're going to have to watch for. All right. And in fact, let's keep it on that. Let's keep it on this view here. I want to go to the temperature anomaly chart. I'll move this back. All right, so you see we've been below normal. Tomorrow we'll be below normal. You see well above normal in Eastern Canada. That's a problem. Well above normal in much of Canada. And this is the problem that we've been having. And, warm, dry conditions favor wildfires. And we're going to start going above normal on Tuesday. You can see for the east to Wednesday. You can see. And then look at Canada. It's still baking. Canada is still baking. It starts showing toward the end of the period, maybe a cool down, but that's toward the end of the period. It's still baking, so I'm really concerned we're going to see a lot more fires in Canada. And like I said, the smoke is going to be a constant issue. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. I think we could see some of the smokiest weather we've ever had in, recorded history here at the rate things are going. So going to the CONUS view, making this down to the CONUS view here, you'll see that we do go above normal as we get toward the weekend. But there is Saturday that could be kind of and then it gets much colder for Saturday and Sunday. You see quite below normal there. Right? Those days could be a little dreary. We'll have to see this with the GFS. This is like trying to form a low there. So now let's go look at the HRRR model and look at the next couple of days here. So obviously dry, high pressure stays over us. More of the same. Tomorrow and Thursday as well. Dew points and wind flow. So your dew points, your easterly flow Tomorrow we stick with that easterly flow, northeast, coming east. So it starts northeast and becomes east later in the day. You do see the moisture levels do start to increase a little bit. Nova Scotia's over here. Still would like to see a little more moisture over there to help with the fires. And then as we get, that sets the stage for a different kind of air mass on Thursday when the winds shift to south, to west, and then southwest to a much warmer and definitely feeling a little more humid day. And we still may be dealing with that smoke, too, on top of it. So let's go look at the temperatures. Cool night tonight. Again, lows probably dropping back 45 to 50. And then tomorrow you'll see inland. Look at how hot it gets inland. So inland, you're baking in the 80s. Even well up into Canada, we've got 80s here. If we take this off to the... Oh, that's right. I'm looking at the... All right. We'll focus on that in a minute. But you'll see. Warm. Very 90 in Michigan. So it's an upside-down pattern where it's cooler in the mid-Atlantic than it is all the way in Maine. So I mean, upside-down weather that we've been having. All right? Meanwhile, in Long Island, we'll have highs generally in the low 70s and more inland, and then the sea breeze comes in, knocks things down to the 60s. Tomorrow night will not be as cool, and then Thursday should be a lot warmer. We should definitely get up to near 80 degrees, I think, and then there will be a sea breeze in the afternoon. But, yeah, it's quite unusual just to be locked into this. All right, so let me move this to the GFS so we can look at Canada here and show you what I mean. So if we go change this to regions... And North America here, you'll see how warm it gets well up into Canada here. It's crazy. It's an upside-down pattern. It's warmer in extreme northern Canada than it is in South Carolina. This is an upside-down pattern. It's crazy. And this is all brought to you by this crazy, pattern that we've been having. You can really see that. All right. And it just doesn't look like it's changing all that much, which means we're going to have more fires in Canada. Okay, so when is the next change? All right, so let's move this along here. Look at your dew points and wind flow. So as we move into Friday, southerly winds, southwesterly flow on Friday. Looks like light winds. It's becoming easterly light winds, but still staying on the humid, sort of moist side here. And then we have this backdoor cold front that comes through Saturday. Strong easterly winds. And Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have northeasterly winds pretty strong. There's a low to the south. Sounds familiar? And then as you go to Monday, you'll see that low to the south. And this low may get a little close this time and actually bring us some rain, perhaps, next week. Southeast winds, and then another low forms offshore. And then we have drier weather maybe move in for later in the week. All right? Temperatures. As we go, again, there's Thursday. Friday. Friday could be the hottest one of all, so it could be near 90, I think. North Shore, maybe central Nassau around 90. The city into Jersey. South Shore well into the 80s. Again, it doesn't look like there'll be much of a sea breeze until later in the afternoon. So Friday's going to be the hottest day. You're going to have one really hot day, and then that backdoor cold front comes through. And you can see it right there. Temperatures, look how warm it is to the west of it. Temperature's still around 70, but to the east you're in the 50s. And then look at what happens for Saturday. So that heat gets suppressed, temperatures drop, and it really drops big time on Saturday, only in the 50s. Perhaps it's going to be chilly. Maybe cloud cover too. With being that cold, I think that would be cloud cover. Highs only in the 50s, so it'd be quite chilly here. We're going to pay for that nice weekend we had, I think, this weekend. It's going to be a little more gloomy. And then here we are, 70s. Still 70s. And yeah, not really much heat after that. Generally, if you have a few days of heat here and there, but then it builds up again as we get toward next. No really extended periods of heat. Yeah, but one or 2 days of heat, and that's basically it. So let's go look at the skies. Not counting the smoke. You'll see sunshine, but it will be hazy. Thursday, sunshine as well. Friday, we'll start seeing maybe a few more clouds make their way into the picture. And then as we get to the weekend, you'll be dealing with the clouds. We'll have the clouds over from that system. And again, the question is how much rain could this storm give us? And, man, we are just hurting for rain. It's very dry. And like whatever rain we get looks like it's going to be on the light side. Won't be very much. But it could keep some rain and maybe even some annoying drizzle around just to make things miserable. But as far as the amount of rain we're going to see out of this, this is our only chance. This is only our only chance of rain. Maybe a half an inch, maybe if we're lucky an inch, maybe. But it might trend drier as we get to. This is what happened with the last system. It looked like, we were going to get some rain from it, and then it kept getting suppressed to the south. We'll see. Things are very dry here, and if we don't get rain soon, we're going to see a lot of wildfires, and it's not what we want to see. Not just New York and New Jersey, but New England too. It'll be Nova Scotia and it'll be New England because it's very dry. They haven't had any rain there. It's been extremely, extremely dry, and this is very concerning. If we go to the drought monitor, which I should put up on your drought monitor, let's go to the Northeast. It doesn't look like we're doing too badly, amazingly. We're in only abnormally dry, but if we don't get rain soon, this is going to change. And the thing is, this doesn't really reflect the fire hazards because in the warm season, things dry out very quick. And so if you don't get rain, you go through a whole week without any rain, it's going to get dry fast. And that's a concern. So, again, that's our chance for rain. There's just a chance for rain this weekend. It's really hard to say what's going to happen that far out. And we can look at a few other models that go that far out. We can look at the European model. And the European is drier. Well, this only goes to 12Z. Let's go to the... let's see, this only goes to 12Z Saturday. The European is just not very encouraging. The European is even drier. And this is the problem. So it kind of just keeps it suppressed, and it has another strong high building over us again. This is what the European is. It might be wrong, though. I'm curious of what the Canadian is doing. Canadian's like completely different. Has the storm in a completely different spot. We'll have to see. This is our only chance for any type of rain here. And again, it's been very dry and just way, way, way too dry. It's nice not having to deal with the rain, but it should at least rain. You should at least have some showers at least one day out of a whole week. Just to go through the whole week without anything, it's just... So let's go to the yard gem model here for the skies here. This is another cloud model we can use. And again, this isn't going to... Like I said, there won't be too many... It looks like it's showing maybe some stratus or maybe some fog over parts of coastal Jersey. But other than that, no actual clouds except for clouds of smoke. It's tomorrow night when we see more of that moisture come in that I think we'll start seeing some of the fog and the stratus. That'll sort of burn off on Thursday. And then Friday, it'll have the similar thing. Friday, it'll burn up. Friday's going to be pretty hot. And then that's as far as this model is going to take us at this point. NAM 12 isn't going to take us far enough out. So, what can I say? Right now, we're just keeping an eye on the smoke. That's the main thing that we got to keep an eye on. Let's go to the Ventus Sky model here and just show you. I'm kind of curious what this is going to do. So I just want to visualize what's going on here. All right, we're going to actually take this up to 2 o'clock today. All right. You see how upside down this pattern is. All right, so this is what we're calling an upside down pattern. So it's cooler in parts of... Look at how hot it is. Well up into Canada here. Oh, my gosh, 90s. All the way up into... all the way up this far. That's crazy. So that's the kind of heat you have. And look at how... It's just... How far north it is. It's very... So these are the areas that we're going to have to watch for new wildfire development because the conditions here are very favorable for it now going into eastern Canada. So we have wildfires burning in western Canada, and we'll have wildfires burning in eastern Canada. And the only clean air you're going to be able to get is from the tropics. Eventually, that's what's going to happen. And this ain't changing. So if I move this to tomorrow, still hot in eastern Canada. Thursday, maybe it cools off a little bit. But I'm still really concerned about the fire situation in Canada. This is going to be... Canada is just suffering so much right now. It's unbelievable. So lastly, Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 day outlook. They have it below normal for temperature, near normal for precipitation. I think they were a little wrong the last time with precipitation. We'll have to see what happens. 8 to 14 day, they have us near normal with precipitation, still below normal with temperatures. So again, there's no big ridge in the southeast. There's no setup to really get any sustained heat at all. And it's because of that, and because we're not seeing the moisture, that we're not getting the rain. But we'll have to see. Like I said, it's an upside down pattern. It's the only way to put it, really. So anyway, that is going to be it for this weather update. Have a good night. Thank you for watching.